In this video, we will get metadata from the given folder or file. So we will see this activity which is useful to get the output from the Get Meta activity in conditional expressions to perform validation or consume the metadata in subsequent activities. So here you can see the metadata is divided into two parts. So first and foremost, we will try to get metadata from the directory, and then we will try to get metadata from the file. Let's practice the same one by one. Alright, now I'm inside the ADF, and the ADF is also connected with the storage account. This is my ADLS Gen 2 account. Inside this container, I'm going to create a container name with certain name. So here I'm going to show folder metadata. So I'm going to import this. So I'm going to create this container. Inside this folder metadata, I'm going to create a directory. So I'm going to create folder directory. Alright. So inside this folder directory, I'm going to upload some files. So these files are order items. So I'm going to upload these three files here. So it's now uploaded. Now go back to the ADF. Inside this ADF, I'll create the dataset first. So as we had the data lake gen 2 types, I'm going to select this CSV file. So I'm going to select the limited file. So name it folder underscore data set link service. So I do not have any link service currently. So I'm going to create the link service. So name it ls underscore folder. So inside this link service, I'm going to provide my Azure subscription. I'm going to select the storage account, check the connection. If it is successful, then we can proceed further. Here you can see this connection is successful. Now I'm going to create it, and this time I'm going to browse folder metadata folder directory. So I'm going to click OK. I'm not going to give any file name here. None, import schema is none, and click OK. Go to the pipeline. Inside this pipeline, create a new pipeline. Search for metadata, get metadata activity. This metadata activity is inside this get metadata activity. I can see the settings option. Under the setting option, you need to select your folder dataset, and I'm going to select the folder dataset. I'll have to provide field list here because this metadata is accepting different kind of arguments. So I'm going to select some arguments first, for example child items, and I'm going to select some another file name. This is the exist, and let's see some other file names also. For example, I'm going to select new, and let's select some last modify. I'm going to select new, and this would be the item name, and that's it. Let's debug. Because we had selected all the new names, you can provide filter by last modified and end item also, end time also. I'm not going to give that kind of items here. So let's debug it because we have provided all these options. If it is successful, so we can get the output immediately here. If it is failure, so you will find something wrong in your connection, in your link service or integration runtime or data storage. So it's going to try. So till here we didn't provide any CSV file, rather we just provided folder directory path only. Here you can see it's a success rate. Output, click on output. Can you see this is the value? So here we have the existing true, last modified is the date, item name folder directory which we had provided child item. Here you can see all these files we have inside the folder directory. So these files are showing here. So these three files are showing here. Other properties and other values are also showing here. You can use this meta activity for various purpose. For example, you can use for your automate process, for your further activity. If you want to fetch another connect with another activity, then you can get here also. For example, if we want to perform switch activity, so I'm going to deploy switch activity and connect this value here. So this is useful for switch activity, or you can use instead of switch activity you can use this get meta activity for each activity as well. You just uh, provide for each activity followed by get meta data. You can deploy it here. Alright, so this was the first part where we just provided the folder name. Now I'm going to create another thing. This time I'm going to provide I'm going to create new data set here. This time I'm going to create lake storage, and this is the delimited here. I'm going to I'm going to name it dataset underscore or file underscore dataset. Here I'm going to provide new link service. This time I'm going to provide the ls underscore file. I'm going to name it ls underscore file. Now I'm going to provide Azure subscription storage account. Inside this storage account, let's see test connection is successful or not. Here it is successful. Now I can create it, and here I am going to provide some folder metadata. Inside folder directory I'm going to some order item name. Let's say this 31.csv. Click OK. Import schema none. OK. Here you can see all the items are showing here. Now you can go to the pipeline. Inside this pipeline, this time I'm going to select the file dataset. Previously we selected folder dataset. This time I'm going to select the file dataset. Can you see if I click on this new options or the drag and drop, we are fetching some other options also, right? If I can compare these files, I can compare the same part. So I can click on home, click on Azure Data Factory, click under this data factory. All right, so here you can see I just selected my folder dataset here. This is the folder, selecting folder directory, and this pipeline is showing argument relevant to the folder only. Here you can see only 1 2 3 4 5 6 items are showing. If I go back here, if I click on this options, here we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 nine options are showing. So more additions, more properties are showing, more metadata options are showing in terms of files. So I'm going to create some more files. So this is the comparison between the metadata with folder option. Here we can see the select child items, or here we can see the item type items. But do we have, what kind of options do we have? Do we have child items here? No, we do not have child items. We had these structures, we had exist, we had list notified, item type. So these are different values showing here. So this is the mainly difference between folder type and the file type get metadata. So I'm going to select all these stuff, and this metadata data is file dataset taken from file dataset. So I'm going to debug it. So it will take few seconds. So if it is success, so it will show the part of my metadata. Can you see it's a succeeded? If I can see the output here, it's showing existing true, last modifying, order date is there, item name is this one, item type is file, structure data is showing all the columns there, other parameters are also showing. Here you can see this these details can be used in other part as well. For example, for each, for switch activity, others activity. So for example, if I here switch activity, you can forward this metadata to your switch activity if this is true. Thank you so much for this video, for joining this video. Thank you.